What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how one of my clients went from playing at a club team to now playing at DC United's academy team. So this is my client Teddy. I've been working with Teddy for about 2.5 years now, which is crazy. Time flies by because this is actually old footage of when Teddy was 13 years old and now he is 15. So he's a completely different player. He's faster, he's stronger, he's more technical, and it's been an honor to be a part of his journey. So before we get started, I want to explain that one of the reasons why Teddy's on DC United is not because of luck, not because he knew somebody, but because of his hard work. Teddy's one of the most hardworking players I worked with, and he has the mindset of there's always someone out there training harder or more than me. And obviously more doesn't always mean better, but I feel like the mindset of that, someone is out there training, and if I'm not training, then they're going to be better than me. And Teddy realized that, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why Teddy became the player he is. He worked a lot with me, he worked a lot with other coaches, he does a lot of work individually, and that's something that can't be forced. That's something that can't really be taught. And a lot of kids nowadays, they don't want to put in the work. Sometimes they're just lazy. They're just like, I'm not feeling it today. But the players that make it far, the type of players that are going to go out no matter what the weather, no matter what the time, they're going to make no excuses, and they're going to go out and get that work in. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Teddy is in the position he is now today. And I have some exciting news. He's actually being looked at by Bolivia's national team, which is really exciting because, not a lot of players have their national team, scouting them, which is awesome. Super excited for him. And, I think he just has so much more potential, and I'm just so excited to, see where he ends up. But let me explain to you guys why I feel like Teddy got this opportunity. Of course, it's with hard work, but the second thing, I have to give props to his dad, because I feel like his dad put him in this position because he knew that it would probably be extremely beneficial for Teddy. So Teddy started playing with this team called SYC. It's a team in Springfield, Virginia, in the Northern Virginia area. And when he joined the team, his dad actually wanted Teddy to play a year up, not play his own age group. And luckily enough, he actually made the team, and he was able to get a spot on SYC playing a year up. So at the time, I don't really know what league, Springfield was in. I think it might have been ECNL. I'm not sure. But after playing a year with them, huge news hit, all the Northern Virginia area, just the whole country, because they came out with a new league called MLS Next. And SYC was one of those teams that were accepted into this league. And what did that mean? That meant that Teddy not only was playing a year up, but now had the opportunity to play against DC United, Philadelphia Union, and New York Red Bulls, and he was able to go to some of these other showcase tournaments to play other MLS-affiliated academies. And the thing is that Teddy eventually became a starter in his team, and that, came from his hard work. He didn't just, once he made the team, he didn't just let me just sit down and relax. He kept on working, he kept on pushing himself, and the moment they played DC United, and I think it was, I want to say, what was it? I think it was maybe one of their last games, and they ended up playing DC United. And Teddy just told me that he played really well, and later that week, Teddy got a call from DC United saying, hey, we really enjoyed the way you played. We noticed that you were playing a year up, and we want to give you an offer to play at DC United, but with your own age group. So, of course, Teddy took that, because not only is Teddy going to get more exposure just having that MLS affiliation, but he now doesn't have to pay for anything, because DC United is one of those academies that is not pay for play, which is a huge, I think every team should be like that in the United States, but sadly, it's not. And so Teddy got the opportunity to play with DC United. He's now has, I want to say, 2 seasons with DC United under his belt. And I want to say that one of the biggest reasons why, Teddy was able to get this opportunity was, number one, I feel like the timing of him being on a team that later joined MLS Next was huge. The second thing is that he performed pretty well against DC United itself, which I feel like drawed a lot of attention. And then once they realized that, Teddy was playing a year up, I feel like that really attracted, the DC United coaching staff to want to recruit Teddy at the time. And I want to give props to his dad, because I really do believe that his dad really pushed Teddy to play year up, because he knew that it was going to push him and develop him. Because one of the things that his dad mentioned to me was when Teddy was playing with these older kids, the game was a lot faster. The kids were bigger. They were stronger. The speed of play was harder. And that's exactly what Teddy needed, because it developed him. Because when he went back to his own age group, he said everything felt slower. It felt easier for him. And the moment he joined DC United, that's when he realized that he's competing against kids who have that same mindset he does. Because now he says that he's constantly competing at training because it's so competitive. There's so many kids. Think about all the kids in the DMV that want to play on a team that don't want to have to pay, because you get free gear, free travel, and it's just a huge incentive for a lot of kids, because now it just makes that so much more competitive. I'm not saying that there's no other MLS Next teams that can compete, because DC United have lost. There's been Philadelphia has lost to like club teams that are not associated with MLS teams. So you still have the opportunity to still get recruited by D1 colleges, to still play pro. I do think that while Teddy's playing for this MLS Next affiliated team, I still do think he's going to get more exposure than other teams, just because DC United, they have a good partnership with Loudoun, which is a USL championship team. They have a lot of good connections with top D1 colleges. So if Teddy wants to go to D1 college, I'm sure he'll get the opportunity. And I think there's a lot of pros. The fact that you don't have to pay is a huge incentive for a lot of families nowadays. And that's sadly one of the biggest reasons why there's so much talent that falls through the cracks, is because there's a lot of kids and families that can't pay thousands of dollars, and on top of that, pay for travel, pay for, personal training. And I think it was a huge sacrifice for Teddy's parents, but it paid off, because now Teddy is playing probably for the best team in the DMV area, to be honest. And I think if he continues to develop, continues to push himself, and, he stands out, it's only going to set him up to play at a really good college or to go pro. And, one of the things is that now that he's playing at DC United, the Bolivian national team is actually looking at Teddy, and they want to know, because he has an upcoming tournament. It's the DA's Cup, where it's just MLS affiliated teams that go and compete against each other, and they wanted to know Teddy's schedule to come watch him play. So this could be a huge opportunity for him. So to wrap everything up, I think playing a year up is always a huge benefit. Why? Because you're almost replicating like that first team training, right? In Europe, every academy has a first team, and a lot of times what they do is they bring a lot of the younger kids up to train with the first team, to get that experience, to get that exposure, because it's just a lot faster, and to see if they can handle it. The players that do probably end up signing, a contract with the first team. They end up, now you have all these young players who are 16, 17 years old signing homegrown contracts in the U.S. You got, Europeans, they've been doing this for so long now. And I think since, Teddy's dad knew that he needed to be pushed and there was no first team at SYC, that the second best thing was for Teddy to play 1 year up. And I truly believe that was probably the best decision Teddy could have made, Of course, the timing was perfect because they ended up moving into MLS Next, so a little bit of luck played into that. But playing a year up is very beneficial. So if you're somebody who really wants to push yourself and develop as a player, always try to play with older people. Whether that's like, if you have the opportunity to play with an adult team, do it, because it's only going to push you, because they're stronger, they're probably faster, and you're going to have to, adapt to that. And then when you go back to your own age group, everything's going to feel a lot easier. Well, it should, theoretically. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully this gave you an idea that maybe just gave you an idea of a possible pathway to getting recruited. Because keep in mind, this is not going to work for everybody. There's so many other ways to getting to DC United or some MLS affiliated team. And keep in mind that if you can't make a team like DC United, it's not the end of the world. There's going to be a lot of kids who stay on these MLS Next teams, who stay on these ECNL teams, and who will still get recruited, who might be even better than some of these kids that play on these MLS teams. So don't lose hope if you can't make a team like this, because there's so many different ways to getting to the goal you want to. There's not one set path that's the right way. There's so many different ways to get to your goal, and I just want to kind of show you guys one possible pathway to getting a possible opportunity to play at a higher level. And hopefully this was beneficial for some of my younger players to hear about, and this applies to even guys who are maybe in high school later in their career. This still applies. If you have the opportunity to play with a better team or older group of guys, do it, because it's only going to help you. You're going to learn from them, and you're going to develop. So hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.